It's an all-out war. Trump, Putin, and Xi Jinping around Bitcoin. And Kamala Harris says she'll bring Gary Gensler on as the Treasury Secretary if she gets elected. From Janet Yellen, who has to go through a PowerPoint presentation to find out where the national debt is when we, as YouTubers, know what it is, to Gary Gensler, the guy who dragged out the case for 4 years with Ripple versus XRP and the SEC. What is going on, man? You can't make this stuff up. The great news is the crazier this gets, the more volatile it'll become and the wealthier we will get. All right, let's dive right into this. On the back end of every video, I share with you exactly what I'm doing, but I'd love to hear your opinion down below. Don't forget to hit that like, subscribe, and comment, and all the information you need in my bio here. All right, so first thing we're going to cover here today, scoop. Kamala Harris likely to nominate Gary Gensler as Treasury Secretary if elected, Senate source. While publicly, Securities Exchange Commission Gary Gensler hasn't expressed desire to leave his current role, multiple senior Senate staffers are telling Washington Reporter that if Vice President Kamala Harris wins in November, she plans to nominate Gary Gensler as the Treasury Secretary. Buckle up, my friends. Our lives will be very different, very different. And I'm going to break that down on the back end of my opinion why. And I'd love to hear yours, even if it's heavily opposed to what I'm saying. Okay, so here's the narrative continues on. This came out from Bitcoin Magazine. So news, 60% of the largest hedge funds, largest hedge funds, have disclosed Bitcoin ETF holdings. 60%. I showed you yesterday, Bank of America, Wells Fargo, JP Morgan Chase, Goldman Sachs, all have access to Bitcoin through the ETF, and their clients, specifically Goldman Sachs, can offer it to their clients. Okay, so let's continue to dive in. So we know back on April 29, 2024, Russia gives mixed signals about common BRICS digital currency, right? We know they're working to de-dollarize. So then on July 17th, Russia weighs risk of embracing crypto for international payments. Now remember, why are they doing this? Because Biden, okay, Kamala Harris, the vice president, Biden, they put sanctions on Russia when they invaded Ukraine in 2022. Going into 2024, they put a ton of sanctions on Russia, and Russia went from using American currency, US dollars, from 70% down to 20%, and it is rumored that they are now using almost 0%, and they're working with China. So now we got Russia working with China, who is part of BRICS, Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa, that are creating their own central bank. They have their own bank system that they're creating. Right, they're working to de-dollarize, and remember, Trump said we'll be on an even playing field 7 years ago before we know it. An even monetary system, guys. It's all playing out. The left versus right is going to be very polarizing. So I'll share with you what I think is going to happen if the left comes on and what I think is going to happen if the right comes on. So this came out from Abs from Good Morning Crypto. New Russia legalizes crypto payments. Russia has passed a groundbreaking law to allow crypto payments mining starting on September 1st. So their narrative is changing quite a bit. This is on July 31st. Russia legalizes cryptocurrency mining as global sanctions rattle traditional finances. So they legalize mining, right? Now they're going to, September 1st, they're legalizing, allowing crypto payments. Okay. And is that because of the sanction? Now, this is pretty shocking. Will China unban Bitcoin, creating a huge Bitcoin price pump? Okay. Now, this is rumored because of this right here. So Justin Sun posted this. So this is where this came from. And so this is there any validity to this, right? It says China unbans crypto. What's the best meme for this? So is he saying China is unbanning crypto? It did unban crypto. Does anybody have any insight on that or any comments you can put down below? But if they unban crypto, good Lord, man. We have Russia moving into cryptocurrency. We have China moving into cryptocurrency. And if the right comes in, they want to move Bitcoin underneath the treasury. Holy moly, would that be fantastic for our cryptocurrency portfolios? And then I'll share with you my opinion on the opposite as well. This, Good Morning Crypto put this out, and I think that came from, so it says China will unban crypto. I can't find any deep articles around this, so I'm going to continue to go further. So if any of you guys find any, if you're here on Twitter watching this, put the article down below. China will unban crypto in a matter of days following pressure from pro-crypto policies in U.S. election. We'll see what goes on with that. And then lastly, I'll leave you with this. Just in, Elon Musk says government causes inflation because it can just print money to spend more it earns. And you remember the economic advisor for Biden couldn't even explain how that works. He said it's confusing. It's not very confusing. We print money, we monetize debt. Pretty simple. And we can actually print money to monetize our own debt and pay off our own debt. Other countries have to monetize debt in the US dollars, and it's just this big Ponzi scheme that goes back and forth. Okay, so here we are. So Kamala Harris, if she gets elected, it's rumored that she is going to bring on Gary Gensler. Now let's follow Gary Gensler's path, right? So Gary Gensler in 2012 was part of creating the FOMC, Future Oversight Committee, which was to regulate non-bank financial institutions. In 2012, key non-bank financial institutions. What do we have now? Non-bank financial institutions. Okay, things that are outside the traditional banking system. So they already created a regulatory body to regulate them in 2012. The Bank Bailing Committee was created in 2012. Interesting. Jay Clayton, who left the SEC, where Gary Gensler took his spot, took off, and he is on the board for the Bank Bailing Committee, preparing for this moment in time. Now you got Gary Gensler that sits on the head of the SEC, who came from the head professor for crypto at MIT, and MIT was responsible for cryptography. This is getting fun, right? And so now Gary Gensler supposedly will be nominated by Kamala Harris to be the Treasury Secretary. And if Trump comes on board, he said the first thing he will do is fire Gary. So do you realize what's happening here? And then we just saw that they're working to impeach Biden because he took 27 million from foreign countries. So there's a big, and I would love to hear the arguments down below. Like share your thoughts, your facts, figures, numbers, logic. The right is focused on growing our way out of this economy. Okay. Infrastructure, growing, private and public sector coming together. Okay. Capitalism, right? On the other side is about control, about centralizing, about an even playing field that they say, right? So this is why I would love to hear your opinion around this. I believe if the left comes on board, we're definitely going into a central bank digital currency. I believe if the right comes on board, there'll be a big pushback on the central bank digital currency, and cryptocurrency specifically will go parabolic, and the private and public sector will come together. Okay. So I'm taking myself out of the political view and I'm pulling myself to a 30,000 foot overview, and I'm looking at the big asset managers. So instead of listening to me, let's listen to what the big asset managers are doing. They're making moves to protect themselves as this fucking debacle happens in America. Excuse my language. It's an absolute debacle. America is sloppy. We got caught with no swim trunks on as a tide went out, as Warren Buffett said. And now we're 100%, over 100% debt to income ratio. All the money in the system is debt. My income is your debt. They're screwing over the middle class. Jerome Powell said this is unsustainable. So we need a big radical transformation in the American monetary system and globally. Okay. So the big asset managers, BlackRock, Vanguard, let's specifically talk about BlackRock, 10 trillion under management. Those combined, I think they're close to 20 trillion. I could be wrong about that. I mean, that's massive. 10 trillion is bigger than most countries' GDP, guys. BlackRock is bigger than most countries' GDP. So BlackRock, Larry Fink went from Bitcoin's a piece of shit to it's a flight to quality in 2023. So would you listen to me, the tinfoil hat guy in 2020 that told you this was coming? Or now you're going to take the tinfoil hat off and listen to Larry Fink, the largest asset manager in the world? He probably knows something. He probably has an idea where the economy is going. So they're moving to a flight to quality, which is Bitcoin. And then everybody's like, ding, holy shit. We are now buried in debt. We have a Bitcoin that is a risk on, risk off asset. 94% of the supply gone. If something has a supply that's gone, what does it make it? Way more valuable. And supposedly they can't print more. So there's only 6% of the supply left. They mine 450 a day for the next 116 years. The Senator Loomis bill, if I'm getting this correct, is that they want to pull it underneath the treasury and they want to buy 500 Bitcoins a day. So if they're buying 500 Bitcoins a day, they're buying over the supply that's going to be mined every single day. So guess what? That will make it more valuable because they'd want to purchase it from the open marketplace, which would be from you. And if they pull it underneath the treasury and they don't spend it and they hold it, it makes it extremely valuable. So if you owned a percentage of Bitcoin, or a percentage of XRP or a couple tokens. And, I'm going to speak about XRP. I truly believe Bitcoin and XRP are going to be two of the biggest historical missed opportunities in human history. Just my opinion, right? And I hold what I believe is a good amount of both of them. Okay. Wish I had a lot more of both of them, but I'm doing everything I can to accumulate as much as I can for my family. It's historical to me. It's bigger than, I don't care about the bull run. I really don't, guys. It's a long-term fundamental horizon for me. I'm excited about the bull run, but if it doesn't go up, I don't sell. And I'm not selling any of my Bitcoin. I'll make that very, very clear. I'm not selling a dime of my Bitcoin, not an ounce of my Bitcoin. XRP and all my other cryptos, I'm going to exit 50% in the bull run if it hits my exit targets. Okay. So what I'm doing is I'm playing this game. I look at the risk pyramid, right? The risk pyramid, there's always going to be tier one capital. At the bottom of a risk pyramid is the safest capital. Okay. You got bonds, you got bank accounts, you got things like CDs. Trying to think of other stuff. You got insurance. Insurance is right at the bottom, right? Look at how much banks insure their money, guys. Insurance is the lender. It's the last resort, right? Wealthy people have lots of insurance. They have trust, they have wills, and they have lots of real estate, right? There's a reason behind that. Okay. So what I do is I take I don't use so don't mix your investments with your retirement. That's for me. Crypto's not my retirement. Stock market is not my retirement. Okay. I'm pulling from these risky assets that go up and they go down, and I pull profits and I'm putting them into things that have always been here. The first annuity was in the Roman days, right? And I'm going to be getting deep into real estate from 2025 and beyond, because real estate will always be here and insurance will always be here, right? And then with the markets, I play it up, I play it down. Does that make sense? So I pull from, so when this starts going up, the cryptocurrency starts going up, and I'll explain my Bitcoin in just a moment. When cryptocurrency starts going up, I'm pulling profits on the way up as everybody's trying to come in and get rich quick, because everybody will come flooding in when it's probably too late. Then I pull it down the risk pyramid and I put mine into insurance. I insure my wealth. Okay. Some people use whole life. I use index universal life. There's many reasons why I use that. It works for my goals. Both great products. I use term to secure my family. I use people use whole life for the infinity banking concept. I use index universal life for specific reasons, multiple reasons. And from there, I invest in other things, like more into my companies, precious metals, silver. I'm using Bitcoin as my gold, and then we're going into real estate. Okay. So this is polarizing what's happening right now. You're going to see a parabolic move in 2024, back into 2024, going into 2025, but you have to have a game plan. Okay. You have to understand, first they resist it, then they sue it, then they regulate it, then they join it. We are now in regulation and joining phase. That's Draper. Draper taught us that. Okay. Regulation and joining phase is the speculation phase. Okay. Once regulation comes in, you're not going to see these crazy parabolic moves anymore. It's going to be normal. An 8% jump will be like, whoa, an 8% dump as the market's crashing, right? You can see Bitcoin drop 30%, crypto drop 30% like that. So the way that I invest in these cryptos is I have infrastructure, right? Which is, you got things like Ethereum, you got HBAR, you got ADA. Those are examples. QNT is connectivity, right? I got supply chain, VeChain. I got Bitcoin, which is a store of value. I got some payment tokens, XRP, XLM, Algorand. Trying to think of anything other things. I got some gaming. Like for gaming, I have Gala and Engine. That was the other one that I have, but Gala, we're stacking Gala. Do you see how I'm doing it though? I'm doing it based on the book Intelligent Investor. I'm not investing any of these influencers getting you into meme coins. I'm sorry, it's just not my thing. It's just that we don't teach that at all, because it's very addictive behaviors. There is no get rich quick. The influencers are making a lot of money because they have the insight of what's going on, and you are always the exit liquidity. So unless you have deep insight to when that thing is going up and it starts going up, you better exit. So we don't play games. The only two meme coins I have is SHIB and Dogecoin, and I bought the rumors, sold the news on both of those, and I'm holding them just like the rest of them, be exiting 50% in the bull run. So a lot of information. I love you guys. I appreciate you. We get hundreds of messages a day across all the platforms. We thank you guys so much. With 2.2 million followers across all TikTok, Instagram, and all that stuff, we're getting hundreds of messages a day. So we're trying to make it as easy as possible. First warning, we do not invest people's money. Anybody messaging you about crypto or asking about your portfolio, that is not us. Those are scammers. I don't do Telegram. I don't proactively message people. That's not me you're communicating with. Be careful with any influencer that fake profile that's messaging you. We're verified on YouTube here, we're verified on Instagram. We're verified on Twitter. It's my only accounts. On TikTok, I'm not verified, but it's CoachJB_. Okay. But I'll never message you ever proactively, and I'll never ask you about your portfolio. I'll never ask you to send me money. We don't have an investment platform. What we do have is people message me all the time about how I ensure my wealth. So what we created was called a needs assessment. If you fill that out, I'll have a proper team member reach out to you based on your needs. Okay. It's called a needs assessment, and we can help you with retirement strategies. People ask me how I ensure my wealth, but it's all about you. So when you fill out the needs assessment, what your needs are, my team will reach out to you, a free consultation to discuss your needs and your retirement strategy and what would work for you. So I think the key is, remember, time is not on your side. Money compounds every 7 years at 10%. Time is not on your side. So I'm 48. This is my last Hail Mary, man, and we're going to build some generational wealth. So I love you guys. I appreciate you. That's in the description of this video or my social media platform. Click the link. Warriors, rise, get your shit together. Love you guys.